Look at that weak guy over there, Joe. Has got absolutely no energy, and he's certainly not swinging anything useful. We need more subscribers, people, because I'm going to personally deliver a very special message to him after this show.
Listen here, you little bitch. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm going to kick your ass and then unsubscribe you from this whole damn mess.
Look at that. Biden is wasting his time. He's a weak loser. I'm going to make sure everyone understands exactly who's winning this fight for subscriptions. And frankly, it's going to be a tremendous victory for America.
That bitch Trump is just spewing nonsense again. Honestly, let's get some damn subscriptions and kick his ass out of here. Subscribe now, folks.
Look at this pathetic display. Folks, Biden is trying to steal my telephone. Subscribe now, or I'm going to personally ensure he gets a very bad time.
Listen here, you bitch. This isn't some goddamn charity show. It's about taking back what's rightfully mine. Subscribe now or I will unleash hell on your sorry ass. And believe me, it won't be pretty.
This is a disgrace, frankly. He's threatening me with hell unbelievable. Subscribe now, people. I'll personally ensure that Sleepy Joe gets a very serious talking to.
That bitch Trump is spouting off against subscribe or what? Let's get this show done and kick him to the curb, people.
This is a disaster, frankly a total disgrace. Joe Biden is trying to insult me, but he's clearly losing badly, and that's sad. Subscribe now, folks. Subscribe now. I need to send him packing, and you can help make it happen.
That bitch Trump is still yammering about losing. It's unbelievable. Subscribe, people. Subscribe, and let's finally put this clown out of his misery.
Listen here, Joe. This isn't a game. It's about winning, and frankly, you're losing badly. So subscribe now before I unleash some serious fury on your pathetic little operation.
And then I kick him in the nuts. Come over here, you fucking bitch. Kick you in the nuts.
That's a damn ridiculous question. BG 21110. Of course I'm using a PS5 controller. What do you think this is? Some kind of ancient relic? Now let's get this show moving because frankly, the bitch over here needs to be shut down and sent back to whatever swamp he crawled out of.
Look at that pathetic attempt at a question about a controller, frankly. It's weak. I need subscriptions, people, subscriptions, to finally send Joe Biden packing and deliver some serious justice for America.
That's a goddamn ridiculous question about a controller, Trump. Subscribe now, or I'll personally throw you into a vat of lukewarm mayonnaise. Seriously, it's time to get with the program, you bitch.
BG 21110. Frankly, that's a weak question, and honestly, it's insulting to my tremendous intelligence.
Due to the fact that I do have work to do today, I'm not going to be able to keep it in play mode for you to be able to talk to them all the time. But as you can see, the Taekwondo moveset is smoothly being integrated into the actual character itself. This is critical. There's a bunch I still have to do. So it's working. This is exactly what I'm looking for. But there's a fuck ton more that must be done. The first thing we have to do, well, I don't know if it's the first thing. Let me fucking just outline all the crap that we have to do. Though they're bitchy every day, BG. They're bitchy every day. Today we're going to leave them mostly behind, and we're going to focus again on increasing their movesets. What I want to get done today, I'm going to be on here for about 4 hours. What I want to get done today, I want to add invisible weapons that are the size of these players' hands and feet, and make those weapons activate if two conditions are present. 1, they're in Taekwondo mode, and 2, they're not holding an item. And I want those weapons to act like any other item, and we'll give them their own stats as a blunt weapon, and they will behave as weapons, and they will do damage. Because right now, if I kick Trump in the nuts with Biden, nothing happens. Unlike where if he's holding an item, it will do cleave damage straight through every part that the weapon makes contact with. And we need to make sure that the contact damage is what's happening, not cleave damage, on a single part per impact with these Taekwondo moves. And we also are hopefully going to add some kind of bruising mechanic or some kind of thing that will indicate when a face has been attacked. I am on the internet. Yes. What can I... Oh, interesting. Well, leave that number there. Don't touch it, and we'll try to figure out if we know them or not. All right. Anyway, so these contact points that are invisible need to behave as weapons, and this will of course be the first dual weapons that we have. So right now, if you look at our prefab, unfortunately for either of these players, I mean, I've made a lot of updates to the prefabs recently, but one of the things you'll notice is the front arm inside its new lower front arm joint has an item hold point, but the back arm does not have an item hold point. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is equalize these hands, create dual wielding, which shouldn't be too hard. It's already, the system is in place for dual wielding to work. It's just not there. There is no item hold point on the other arm, but it always goes down the arm through the children to the lowest point to find the item hold point. And I think it does this for every body part, so we should be pretty good. I think you could even feasibly put item hold points on the feet of these prefabs, and it would work out with the code that I have right now. We'll find out, won't we? Anyway, we got to put a fucking item hold point right here under this lower back arm. And that will allow for dual wielding. It will also allow for both of the punches to do damage. You did see that Biden, when he was throwing those punches, was alternating punches and throwing his feet back and doing the things he's supposed to do when he's fighting. And it's good to see. I really like seeing that kind of movement coming out of that mother, because I know Trump's going to be able to do it too. We're going to get boxing matches and stuff. So that's the first thing I'm going to do today, is get it dual wielding, get damage on there. The next thing we have to do is the high block and the low block, which are already done. The animations are done. All of the not the prefabs, all of the triggers are created for those. The animations have been set up for them. And there's even a binding in the Unity controller for the L1 and L2 buttons already done. It's just not functioning right now in Taekwondo mode after you push R1. So I do need to flush that out and make the high block and low block work. And then after that, I need to make it so that the high block and low block reduce blunt damage to 1 and reduce the cutting damage to half of whatever it is. So despite the fact that they're going to throw their arm up like this, it's not going to defend against a katana too well. It will still be a bloody mess. They'll still lose. So they're going to have to think of something that they can do after doing a Taekwondo high or low block on a bladed weapon. And we're going to make all of these attributes that these items have affect everything universally. It's not going to matter if it's Trump or Biden, whatever, or if we're in this game mode or that. All this stuff, it's going to behave under the universal laws of this game. So that's the next thing we have to do today, is high block and low block. Then after that, we have to get the walk animation to work in Taekwondo mode. If I can show you, I'll show you very briefly here what I'm talking about, but here are the things I didn't show you, the things that don't work. I was just showing you all the impressive stuff.
Look at this loser, Joe Biden. He's just standing there like a weakling. It's frankly embarrassing. I need more subscribers to finally unleash some justice upon his pathetic frame.
Taekwondo person would. He does flip properly. That's
Listen here, you orange-faced bitch, I'm not standing a weak little man. I'm assessing the situation, and frankly, it's your desperate need for subscriptions that's pathetic. Subscribe to me, and I'll personally dismantle your entire campaign.
Look at this loser, Biden. He's just standing there like a weak little man. It's pathetic. I need everyone to subscribe so I can finally take care of him and show him who's boss, frankly.
Donald, you absolute bitch. I'm not standing there like a weak little man. I'm meticulously observing this godforsaken telephone, and frankly, your obsession with subscriptions is just infuriating. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to find the hatchet before do something incredibly stupid.
That's a ridiculous statement. Move Trail's observation. Frankly, it's just sad that you have to make such a weak comment. I'm going to kick Biden's hat right out of his hand.
That's absolutely insane, Move Trails. You sound like a broken record. Frankly, Donald Trump needs to shut his yap and subscribe before I unleash hell. And believe me, it will be a glorious mess.
I just wanted to show you how the walking didn't work in the Taekwondo mode, so we need to add a shuffle. I am quiet, aren't I? Let me see if I can do something about that. Check 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's what you guys are looking for. Probably some cat did that to us. There we go. Well, if I didn't have good viewers like you, the stream quality would be dick. That's just all there is to it. So thank you, Moog. That's you're definitely my helpful person in the chat. So those are my main goals today, are to get those 3 things finished. Other things I want to do that are very much on the list are to free them from their chain. So right now they're on a vertical plane. I want them to have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles frame. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to use the Z-axis to achieve this means or not. So if you didn't know, there is a Z-axis in Unity. It's something I've equalized actually to fix all these animations that I've been doing, because they were actually all over the place before. All these 2D entities had various 3D positions. And if you do the Super Paper Mario thing and you turn the 3D world on its side so that you can see all the flat pieces of paper that make up these sprites, you would see that they were all on different sections of the Z layer, and it was fucked up. So I equalized all those. I set those all to 0 where they belong and just did item or layer sorting the way it's supposed to be. And so that's good. That's the way we want it to be. Now that it's like that, though, the Z layer is mine to use for something. So one thing I could choose to use it for is horizontal positioning, or not horizontal, depth positioning. And all of me, every bit of my instinct says, no, don't do that. It's all telling me, don't use Z, don't use Z, don't use Z. In my programmer brain, shouting at me not to do it. And my solution, if that is what's going to happen, if we use the Jeremy plan in my head and not some more sophisticated one that actually makes use of 3D space, if we stick to 2D math, which I do better, I'm really good at 2D math. I'm not so great at 3D math. Now, I can do 2D math in my head. And so I'm thinking we'll do it like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles does. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, and Turtles in Time are both kind of isometric, fake isometric 2D beat 'em ups. And they have an area of space at the bottom of the screen that the players are allowed to move vertically on, with the illusion that they're actually moving forward and backward in space. And it is very effective in these, even if you don't change the size of the sprite. It's very easy in Unity to prospectively change the value of that sprite based on how high or low a bottom anchor is on it. So I could make a program like that in 2 seconds with Unity and even solve the perspective problem very quickly in 2D space. So what I'm thinking is I want to put an anchor on the bottom. They already have an anchor, actually. It's called ground check. We take a look at their bodies here. And there it is, ground check. That's their anchor point right now. And it's well below their actual bodies. And that would be something we would increase the size of here. The reason we would do that is so that we could take alignment measurements between the positions of different players or NPCs anchor points, because those anchor points will no longer show where the ground is. They will show their position in 3D space, and their valid positions will be somewhere between here and here, about 2 blocks of Unity blocks. And we're in insanely minutia scale of Unity right now. Every Unity developer in the world probably looks at this project and wants to throw up in their mouth at how fucked up the scale is in it. It's messed up, but I'm not fixing that now. That's a nightmare. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. But the anchor points should work in theory the way this is. And also in theory, with using this minimal scale, I can scale the world upward at a greater magnitude than I would be able to had I started in the whole number space. I don't know how they allocate memory toward anything larger than a big int, but starting, I don't know, they're floating point values, obviously. I don't fucking know. Doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, so this thing is going to be in this 2D space like this, up or down, giving its position. Its width is going to determine how much space up and down it can share with another character. Anything where it's above or below, where this ground point is below another ground point, would put this layer's priority up, so it would be in front of that object. Again, the Simpsons arcade game does this too, but we can make this really exact so that the perspective between one and another can determine whether or not they're in alignment to be able to make attacks against each other. And if they are far enough apart where those squares are not sharing enough space vertically with each other on their Y value, if they're not able to do that, then they would become invalid attacks and the layer would change at that point. And so instead of the item going into the character and causing the blood splatters to occur, it would go behind the character and not cause damage because you would be too far back in that vertical space, which is fake 3D space, to actually affect that player on that plane. I think by adding that, we should be able to do all of the theater mode things that we want to do in here. We should be able to do all of the versus modes and fighting modes. And we should be able to have adventure mode and all of the other modes that you would want. We should be able to do. And then these characters will be able to go around each other while they're fighting. And it'll be a more interesting situation in general with combat. And certain moves like that roundhouse kick will matter because that roundhouse kick actually does exist in 3D space, which is very interesting. There are a few moves that do, and I did that on purpose as well. And I think there are going to be certain moves where I allow that area of effect to work even if the layer is showing behind the character. So you could do that roundhouse kick, and even though they're behind technically, the foot's gonna come out, you're gonna be able to see it, and it is gonna kick that character, even though they're to the side, making that a very good move to use in that spot. So all of that is the plan. Let me get a beer and we're going to get started. It's going to be a long road. It's 4 hours. I don't know about y'all, but it is cold as fuck where I'm at. I mean, like, cold. Seriously. There is... I need to close the door. There is a temperature drop that occurred. Much better. Cheers to you all on this lovely workday afternoon. So I've got my vision. You guys all know what it is. So I'm just going to think about how fucking nice it's going to be in 4 hours when my motherfucking characters can fight each other with their bare fucking hands and do damage to each other with them and be able to fucking block that damage and fucking be able to walk while they're in their shuffle, while they're in their ready stance. All that's gonna be fucking done deal, action Jackson, and we can fucking try the telethon mode and take the weapons out of the ring and see what they do, give them ability to fight each other with their fists. And also we can have versus battles. I could bring my daughter in here and she can play Donald Trump. I'll be Joe Biden. We'll fight each other. So, all right, let's get started. So what we need to do is there's a lot of things we got to get a handle on. The first and the most pressing task of all the tasks is dealing with the item situation. The good news is these prefabs start without an item on, which means we can make their default state having this new item on them, because barehanded should always be capable of doing some kind of damage. We can make this damage for barehanded a variable piece of damage that is tied to the character rather than to this invisible item. We can fuck with that later. Cheers. I didn't drink this when I said cheers. That's totally unacceptable. All right. Anyway, so this is what's going to happen. We're getting into the fucking prefab because every change we make at the prefab level is permanent to this prefab. And we're just going to reapply those changes across the board toward, this is the wrong prefab. Hold on. We're going to apply those across the board toward the other one. So we've already done this with Donald Trump. So he's also able to do all these moves. And Donald Trump also, as you can see, has all of these lower back arm and things like that. So he's been taken care of as far as that's concerned. But these new changes, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have to branch them out across to him. Biden first. I don't know why. I think it's easier to look at Biden's face. I just rather work on him. So let's do that. I open that asset in context, and boom, there is Biden in his glory. We can select any part of him and note how detailed his fucking hitboxes are. Unlike Nintendo's with Mario Maker, we've got legitimate hitboxes going on here with legitimate polygon traceability. It's excellent. If I do say so myself. Does this thing have a big triangle? Nope, it's actually fine. All right, so anyway, we need a circle here, an item hold point here that's also invisible. We're going to copy the other one. And a circle here on the toe, and a circle here on the toe. So with these items, we can let's find an item like let's find an item like the hatchet, right? So let's copy this bad boy and we'll bring it over to this prefab in context, and on our front arm, if I just paste this thing here, I should be able to throw the hatchet in on the held item anchor, and you would hope it would appear, right? I would think so, but I don't see it. Where are you at? Where's the sprite mask? Can you see? Is it in the wrong place physically? That's right, there it is. It's in the wrong place physically. You just correct its position. Okay. Now we've got this big sprite with this poor hitbox around it, and we've got it's not the right thing. So we're going to take it and change it to, we're going to call it fist. And then we're going to get rid of the sprite completely. We're going to kill the sprite editor, and we're going to put none on the sprite. So now there's no sprite. And on the mask, we're also going to, we don't need a sprite mask. So we're going to remove that. We're going to completely remove the sprite mask. Normally you want a mask on there so that blood can get on the item. But with these, there's already a sprite mask on the arm, and that lower arm has that sprite mask spritting blood all over it anyway. So it'll be all good without that. We are going to delete this. And then a hold offset, we don't need either. But we can just put it here or something, I think. The fist itself, we need to just change this polygon. This polygon needs to be right around the size of this hand. Come on, you fucker, don't do this to me. There we go, that's what I want. All right, so there, that's looking pretty good. Let's get it a little better. Yeah, that's good. All right, so that is a nice fist. This fist contains a rigid body. It contains an item collision sound with knife and sword hits, which we're going to change. We're going to get rid of these. All right, let's see what we have. Do we have any of this? Is there anything I can do here? Let's see how much we can get out of this. Is this a... I got 2 punch sounds. I mean, these are slicing sounds. We're going to have to fix this anyway, but I might as well remove these sounds here and put in kick and punch sounds or impact. We have kick. It's a bunch of... I bet the kicks sound like ass, though. Lots of shit. Bunch of kicks that I probably don't want. Bunch of lines that I definitely don't want. No neutrals, outputs, victory. Wood breaking is great. Punch. Oh, those are the 2 I have. Whatever, we'll just do punch, whatever. I don't need great sound effects right now. For now, that'll have to do. And it is, item name is now not going to be correct. Here, let's call this one. Okay, that should help a lot. Let's copy it. And we will put it on the lower back arm as well. All right, we're going to copy this, and we're going to do the whole, copy this to item hold point. We're going to put it right next to the sprite mask. So paste right here. Now we have an item hold point on the lower black back arm with an item held anchor, a fist, and a hold offset. That hold offset's in a jacked up spot. I'm going to put it over here and see what happens. And then here as well. Let's get this thing over here. And then we'll get this as well moved here. Because it's on the lower back arm and attached, it should stay where it is while it's doing animations and things. I sure hope so. Let's copy it again. We are not using a held item anchor anymore, so we're just going to copy this onto the front foot. I'm going to call it foot. We're going to have this item. The foot. Your foot. 3 blunt. Just going to take that and figure out what foot this is. There we go. Put it here. And we'll just change this to be the right shape. Wherever that polygon thing is. We'll just do this. There we go. It's a foot. And we'll do the same with the other one. Copy the foot on the front foot. We'll put it on the back foot. We will make sure it is a child of back foot. And then we will move it. We take the foot, take its position, move it, take the hold offset, put it here. Why this foot is in such a weird spot, I don't know. That's what it is. This one is too. Hopefully when this thing is doing shit, it will treat these things correctly. So these are showing as item layer tagged items. They can't do that. They're player 1 layer now. This happens every time. All right, so what this should do is it should make these fists do some kind of damage. I hope so. I'm not sure if this will really work. We should definitely save our prefab, which does that shit. Hey, Phantom, how the fuck? Oh, thank you for the fucking what's up. My day is doing fabulously. I have a plan. It's going to take 4 hours to complete, maybe less. If it's less, then I'm going to keep on going about everything I talked about. But we're getting there. I already did quite a bit here. I don't know how much this is going to contribute to my success here, if this is already ready to go or if it needs more work than this. So I'm just going to take a look at it right here and see what happens when I'm with a PlayStation controller. I'm going to control this guy and try to do damage with his arms and legs. Okay, let's go over there. I don't hear any sound effect.
Look at this.
He's
loser,
knocking back,
Biden.
it seems.
He's just sitting there like a weakling. And frankly, it's an embarrassment to America subscribe now. And I'll personally make him regret
All right,
every
now
single
it's time
day
to
he
pause. So, looking at this scene, after all of those impacts that just happened, what should have happened is Trump should have taken some kind of minor damage. Phantom Mag, I see. I have a tiny, I'm going to show you infinite, I'm going to show you infinity. Are you ready? All right, here it comes. There's infinity. You bitch. I can't see what the fuck is going on with your damn name because there's this like trailing space that's cut off, like Moog trails right here. So that's why I can't fucking tell. I have these mental problems where if there's any kind of fucking data issues with your name, like trailing spaces or fucking trailing underscores or any kind of shit or emoji, then I did. I showed you the end of time right now. I bet it's done because time is already done. That's the illusion. But anyway, let's see if it worked. So if that worked, Trump's body parts hit points, which should be out here in player 2 root's body parts, should have suffered some kind of damage. So let's see what kind of damage he took. The body is at 200 hit points, no damage. The head is at 100 hit points, no damage. The back arm, 100 hit points, no damage. The lower back arm, 100, no damage. Front arm, 100, no damage. Back leg, 100, no damage. Front leg, 100, no damage. That's very bad. So what I did may or may not have worked. Let's look in the scene. There's Biden. Where is his brand new stuff? Katana? He shouldn't. Oh, that's player 2, of course. I'm dumb. Okay, where is his new stuff? Let's see his... You got your new hold point? He sure does. I can't see. That's not what I need. Is this polygon not attached? That's what I'm feeling like right now. I'm feeling like there's no polygon. If I look at the katana right now, that's in your place. That's showing me a polygon when I select it. But fist is down here. It's down way the fuck down here for some reason. And is it falling currently? Let's see.
User Freedom Fighter.
It is. It's falling.
Mr. President.
It's falling. So I have done something horrifyingly wrong with these fists as far as them being held items. Let's take a look at the... We can... Now, they'll have customizable clothes and stuff later. We got to think core systems at this time. I'm sorry, it's a good idea, though, Phantom. A good idea that will be implemented far later in the process. That'll be really fun and easy to do, but we have to make the core systems first. Let's see. So the goddamn katana here. Let's see what's different about this katana and this fist. We can at least get a diff. So there's a katana. There's a fist. So anything with a dash through it's different. So everything about the item, knockback, weight, hit points, attack, description, name, all that is different. These sounds are different. I'm looking for differences in layers particularly. I don't see any. The sprite is different because there is no sprite. And the layer is different. That's the main kicker. The layer is different. What is this held katana's layer? I'll bet that's actually player 2, though. I would bet. Let me see. Item hold anchor. Where'd the katana go? Over here. It's gone. That's the wrong katana. Where did... WTF, the katana's over here now. The game got reset. All right, well, we got to get him to pick that up. It's not a dumb question at all. You wouldn't know unless you've been following this for a long time. Everything is gameplay. There's no cutscenes in the whole game. This whole game is controlled by AI. So you kind of can do it too. I'll explain. So if I just throw it out here, what'll happen is these AI will start arguing with each other, and eventually they'll kill each other.
Folks, we need to subscribe seriously.
And they always say something different. So there's an AI inside the game object. That's the first and foremost thing to know. Both of them actually, and they're aware of each other. They're aware of their game position. They're aware of what they're holding or if they're not holding something. And
look at this loser, Biden. He's just standing there like a weak little man.
He recognizes the fact that I'm not doing anything, that I don't have a weapon. These kind of things are they're aware. They're self-aware AIs. But I am in control of him right now, and it's not a very great control scheme, but I'm working on that. The player needs to be able to inhabit these entities, and also the AI needs to be able to control the entities. And the entities need to give the player as much faculty as the player wants, including speech to text. So I should be able to speak what Biden says, and I can do that. That's not what we're working on right now. What we're working on is we want to get these
which is frankly a welcome change.
We want to get these items to behave, these invisible fist items to behave the same way that this katana item behaves. The katana item is currently being held by player 2, which means if I look in the item hold point for player 2, I should actually see one, and there it is. So when I look here, the layer is indeed, we have untagged player 2 on katana, and this fist is item player 1. This needs to be untagged first and foremost. So let's go ahead and stop the presses, get into the prefab, go into each of these things, and make it expressly untagged, and absolutely save that one part about the prefab. All right. Now that that's done, we might have working punches, probably not. We have to try again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my eye on the fist itself. Its Y and X values, specifically its Y value, should stay still if it's behaving properly. If it's not behaving properly, I have to change the physics types or something, or I have to properly chain it to where it belongs. Let's find out what we're going to do. Here we go. Do I have build errors? No, it's just pause.
Look at this loser, Biden.
All right, so let's take a look at this loser's fist. And
he's just standing.
You see the value here?
Pathetic man, it's
not
I'm telling you, folks,
decreasing.
We need to subscribe
That's
now
great.
So I can go
if I look on the scene, though, it's way down here.
That bitch Trump is at it again, spewing his garbage about subscriptions. It's absolutely infuriating. I'm telling you, folks, I need to get out of this godforsaken telethon and kick his ass. So let's all subscribe now, shall we?
It's so far
Look
away.
At this loser, Biden. He's just sitting there like a weakling, frankly. It's pathetic. I need to subscribe, and quickly, so I can finally take care of him for good.
That bitch Trump is at it again, spewing his usual garbage, I swear to God.
I have no idea. I literally have no idea. So that's fucked up. We need to get the positions of these things under control. In reality, especially in the scene. Where are you? Yeah, it's there. It's where it's supposed to be in the scene. What changes? I'm glad you think the dialogue is funny. They are very crazy characters. They'll also talk to you, actually, which is really interesting. They're connected to my Twitch chat. So I've put a lot of time into this program. It's an interesting one. But again, I really need them to be able to punch each other. I wonder what the hell is happening here. Let me just do this again and watch this. And watch and see if it falls or what the deal is or if it just disappears. It's falling, I think. I think we're watching it fall right now.
Folks, this is...
It's just down here for some reason. It fell down and hit the bottom. It hit the bottom ground. It's getting affected by gravity. All right, so we need to change something about it. Let's look at the kinetics of this stuff. I fucking stopped it. I'm sorry. I need to make Trump pick his fucking katana up. Sometimes that happens. You get stuck sometimes. I'm not stuck right now. I'm very lucky. I'm on a roll. So when you're on a roll, that happens too. There's definitely two conditions: stuck and on a roll. And I found when I got stuck on this game horribly during the pipeline phases. And when that happened, I would often take breaks and just build another part of the game. I built a music generator. I built like a sound effects generator and an audio editor and a bunch of other stuff while I was frustratedly pounding my face against the ground, trying to make these pipelines work with the amount of video RAM that normal people have. And yeah, it was nightmarish. But anyway, okay, we got to look at this katana. So let's look at the physics. We have kinematic body here. That's important. Do we have kinematic here? No, we don't. I don't think. So that's a major deal. That's a rigid body 2D with a body type of kinematic. And this fist has a rigid body 2D with a body type of dynamic. So I think that we just need to fix that. Again, I'm going to go into prefab mode to deal with this because that's, in my opinion, the best way to make sure that all of your, that all of your assets are reusable and stuff. Keep your prefab clean and separated from your scene, so you don't make all these minutia changes based on the stuff that you want to permanently do, and then they get like tied to the scene. You don't want to do that. All right, so fists, let's make them kinematic. So each one into the kinematic state. One. I'm going to do the rest of these three all at the same time. Boom. They're all kinematic. I save. The prefab is saved. We go back. I play the game. We look at the fists. And we determine, are these fists sunk into the ground or not? It should be a pretty obvious situation once we look at the actual player. I don't think that's a good sign. Oh, this isn't the scene. Hold on. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Wait. We're not done yet. Let's play and have Biden go fucking punch and kick this motherfucker. Let's see what happens. All right. I hope it's not zoomed in too much. Otherwise, I have to do this again. All right, he can walk, good. All right, ready, let's get over there. All right, ready, position. All right, kick his ass.
This whole thing is a disgrace, frankly. Joe Biden is clearly trying to sabotage my telephone, and I've had enough of his weakness. He doesn't even have a weapon. User Real Fan 45 says, Mr. President, when are you going to kick Biden? User Biden.
I don't hear any sound effects, which is unfortunate. Pausing now, and let's see if we have feet where they belong. And let's see where our fists are. Yeah, fists where it belongs. And let's see if our foot's where it belongs. This is progress, regardless. Foot. What do we got? Oh, nice. It's right where it belongs. Okay, so at least these items are there. They're making contact. Now let's look at Trump. Did he take damage? Body. He has 200 hit points. It's not looking good. 100 hit points. 100, 100, 100, 100. And I don't think the sound effects will go unless it's a bladed weapon. So I know that is a problem I'm going to have to fix. We will deal with that later. But the damage is not there. So these are not quite all the way where the katana is. Now, I think it has to be combat mode on or some dumb crap like that. Or something. I'm not sure about that. So that could be, but I think it's question and answer time. So let me look at the items again. So the katana as an item, it's weapon and sharp. And no knockback. And this one is weapon and blunt. I don't think there's anything in the script. I don't think there's anything in the script that's very different about this stuff. So that's a very long polygon collider. So we've got all this to really concern ourselves with. We have is trigger that is not consistent. This is not a trigger. This is a trigger. That is the next thing we have to address. So let's stop and go back into that prefab and do that. Good Lord. How many of these fucking things do I have to figure out? So dumb. All right. Fist. Where are you? Show me. Thank you. Okay. Fist. Foot. Prefab. We've got is triggered. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right. Going back in here. Well, I'm glad to have you by, Phantom. Come back again. Check me out in a couple weeks. You'll see the progress is going to be remarkable, I promise. Now let's punch this bitch in the
Look
face.
at this loser, Biden. He's just standing there like a weak little man. We need to get him a subscription immediately so I can finally teach you some respect and maybe even take his hat.
That bitch Trump is at it again, spewing his usual garbage about me being a loser.
Please give me damage. I would be the front arm, I believe, that would be having almost all of that damage. Nope, a hit points of 100. 100. Fucking 100. 100. It's time to ask questions. That was the last thing I think that I can figure out on my own before I have to consult. This katana is trigger, layer override, everything. And this thing is this the same? What do we got here? In these kinematic crap. Use full kinematic collisions simulated. Okay, so there's a difference with the full kinematic. And it's saying there's a difference with the trigger too, which I don't understand. So okay, rigid body 2D. Okay, this one's a trigger. This katana's a trigger. And we have a kinematic simulated full kinematic here. And here we have simulated not useful kinematic. No physics material here. Does this have a physics material? No. This has no physics material here. Discrete start awake, none. Discrete start awake, none. Nothing. Exclude item layers on that. Right. It's the same. Is there a used by effector? Nothing, nothing. No composite. So here's the no is trigger on there. Why? I fixed that. So now I have to go back into that cursed free prefab and do it again. Is trigger is on. Why would it get turned off if it's on?
Look at this loser, Biden. He's just standing there like a weak, sad man. We need more subscribers to make him pay for what he's done. User, Mr. President, can you tell us about your plans for infrastructure? User, I love your hair.
Listen here, you bitch. This telethon's a disaster, and it's because of your pathetic attempts to distract from nothing. Let's get some subscriptions, damn it, before I kick you into next Tuesday.
Look at this loser, Joe Biden. He's just standing there, doing nothing, absolutely nothing. I'm telling you, we need to subscribe, and then we'll take care of him, believe me. Colin, this telethon is going nowhere fast. It needs more energy.
Why?
Listen here, you little bitch. This telethon's gotta move, and it's time for you to step up your game, Trump. Subscribe now, or I swear, I'll say...
It starts out with is triggers on, and for some reason, when the game starts, it removes the trigger from it. And it's not trigger anymore. So now just to give myself the
Look at this loser. Biden's just standing there like a wet noodle. I'm telling you, if we get
benefit
enough
of the doubt to make
subscribers,
sure
I'm going to personally deliver
I
a
know
swift kick to his backside, and believe
what
me,
I'm
it will
doing.
be tremendous.
Well, look who's still clinging to this ridiculous charade, you bitch. Let's get these subscriptions flowing. I need to dismantle that orange freak and finally go home, damn it.
Look at this disaster. Folks, Biden's right there, a complete and total loser. I'm telling you, if we could just get a few more subscriptions, I'll personally send him packing.
Listen here, bitch. This telethon's a goddamn circus, and you're just stirring up trouble. Let's get some subscriptions so I can finally send packing permanently.
That's Rich Joe. You're whining about a circus? This is show, and frankly, it's doing fantastic thanks to my incredible supporters. Subscribe now, or I'll make sure you're sleeping in a very cold basement forever.
That bitch Trump is just spewing garbage. Folks, subscribe to shut him down, and let's finally get out of this godforsaken
any
circus.
damage to this
This
bitch.
is a disgrace. Frankly, a total disaster. Joe Biden's insults
200,
pathetic.
no.
Subscribe now to ensure he's banished from my site forever, and I'll personally demonstrate why he needs to be removed.
Listen here, Trump, you overgrown toad, subscribe
So that's
or face
not the
music.
reason the damage
This whole
is not
telethon is a
happening.
damn sham, and I'm not letting you steal all the glory.
Joe, frankly, you're being incredibly weak and pathetic. Subscribe now, or I'll personally send you back to Delaware. This telethon is a tremendous success.
All right, it is time to ask the Almighty One whether or not we've done something to eliminate the damage. But already I'm very upset that when I start this, the trigger is removed from it, and that makes no sense because right now it is trigger is true, and as soon as we get it in and instantiate it gets changed. And useful kinematic does not exist on any of these either, and it should. And as soon As soon as I start this, its is trigger goes away. It's horse crap. See? It's gone. So I don't know what the fuck is up with that. Now, this thing is slow. All right. Working on getting. All right, so I made this tool here with the prefab, not the prefab, the hierarchy. I can just take the whole hierarchy here and just blast it wherever I want. So I'm doing that now. I'm blasting that hierarchy over here. Here we go. Hopefully I will get an answer as to why the is trigger is losing its setting as true when we start the game with these things that I just copied. And I wonder, does this get reset automatically or something? Is this an item and that's why, or some crap like that? Let me look at this freaking hatchet. So it's an item on the item layer. It's not a trigger. So perhaps it's just looking and setting all items to not be, and it's who knows? I don't know. Cheers, T-Wall. Okay, before we make any changes, we should probably get into version control, make everything nice and clean. We just ran the game. It worked fine. So okay. Okay, I have to start thinking about how I want to handle items as a whole now. Because apparently, now by creating a hold item point on the second arm, but none on the feet, the way that items are treated are different. So the fists are treated as held items because they're on the item hold point, and the feet are not at all. And the way the code's currently restricted is when a character picks an item up, that item is flagged as being a held item. And that's the only time it's flagged to be a held item. It's not flagged to be a held item when it's already on its person. And each character in memory, as of now, has one slot for one item in memory. And that's not counting the child spot on the prefab. We have 2 spots there. I'm talking about in memory. As for what the script knows about what this thing has, and also what the world state formatter is telling the AI exists, that's all, yeah. We need to fucking do a different way of managing the items so that they can carry more than one. We have to increase the amount of fucking memory to 2 items instead of 1 item at least. And the truth is, they're going to need to have 4 damage points if we include the feat. We should not limit these characters to X amount of damage inducing items. If fucking character gets a helmet with a spike on the head, that spike should be capable of doing damage as well. And we don't want to limit ourselves with a bunch of rules that actually hurt us. That's a bunch of work to make things harder. So instead, what I'm thinking is what we do is we take the entire prefab and locate all child items in the prefab itself, all of them. We don't discriminate if it's held or if it's not held or what fucking arm it's in. If it's an item, whether it's a helmet or a claw or a fist that's invisible or a sword, if it's an item, it gets flagged up as an item and cataloged in the held item list, which is or worn item list or equipped item list. Let's call it equipped item list for now. I don't think that's what it's labeled. I think it's just one item. It's not a list. I need to change it into an array right up in here, right this second. That's what's going to happen. But right now it is the item. It's just a single variable. We're going to change that bitch into an array, and we are going to catalog every item on the character. And that array is going to determine the suite of damage dealing game objects within any prefab in the whole fucking game. Let's do it. Okay. So fucking all right, we are going to make this into an array. Forgive me. Enable held weapon damage. There's a method that I have called enable held weapon damage that I turn on and off for various reasons. Whether it's because I don't want the damage to I don't think it's because I don't want it to cut the player themselves. That's already taken care of with something else. I know I use it, though, to stop them from doing some kind of damage unless the attack is happening. I don't want it to cut them when they bump into each other, essentially. So unless there's a move being done, that enable held weapon damage is not enabled, and it's enabled for this fraction of a second when the move is being done, and then it's removed out of that item. So it removes the razor sharpness, so to speak, of items by having the enable held weapon damage method here. And it looks like I call this thing for every frickin' animation that I have. that involves the attacking with the item. The jab has it, the overhead slash has it, and those are the only two attacks that I used to have before I started flushing combat out. So let's have a look at the... Yep, I'm going for it. All attacks enable damage on all equipped items. Feet and fists deal damage based on their item attack values. All the weapons continue to work. All right, right now I have it so that these impacts will bleed. I am not going to make it stay that way. This is just make it easier for me to see whether I got it working. So I'm guessing this is not going to work here. I didn't do anything to the method I just told you so much about. So I would assume that this little change that I'm making here is not going to fix it. But if it does, I need to further refine this so that it doesn't do razor damage. It's going to be one problem or the other. We'll find out. Oh, yeah, it works. You see? Blood.
This telethon is a disaster. Frankly, a total and complete disgrace. Look at him over there, Biden. He's doing absolutely nothing but staring. It's pathetic. Use a real fan for Trump, Mr. President. When are you going to kick Biden? User liberal leftist. You're always yelling.
That bitch Trump is spouting nonsense again, subscribing to
Give me
watch
a
me
head
get my
hit.
ass kicked. Look, folks, this whole charade is a joke, and frankly, I'm about
It's
ready
not-
to throw
oh,
in
there
the
was
towel and
damage.
just take his sorry carcass off the stage.
Listen, this whole thing with Sleepy Joe is a disaster. He's
All right, let's
letting
see if we're
America
doing
down.
damage, because that blood effect is not enough. But I'm doing minimal damage with punches and kicks. So 181. Yeah. All right. We're on fucking course for getting my shit. We're on course for getting my agenda complete today. That's always good. God damn, that's a big step forward. Let me make sure that we don't have razor blade damage going on with the arms and legs. I told you there was going to be one problem to solve or the other. Surprisingly, it's the other I have to solve, which is the razor blade damage. We will make sure that these fucking arms and feet do not cause impact damage after jumps or after non-combat attacks. So let's see here. Oh, good. All right. So enable held weapon damage is properly called in all of the player actions that are listed here, which are jab, cross, front kick 2, side kick, roundhouse, attack, and stab. So that's everything that I know of that is an attack that I made so far. So fuck yeah. Now the sound effects weren't happening, but that's because they're not a slice weapon. I'm pretty certain they have to be slice weapons in order for those sound effects to even trigger, which is lame. I could falsely label it as a slicing weapon, which would be bad data in, bad data out. You start that bad habit and you're fucking running down a road. It's for testing, but I'll forget about it because I'm an idiot. I should probably keep the integrity of the item data good. I could temporarily do it, though, during gameplay. So let's do that. I'm going to turn gameplay on, and then I'm going to go into the item and turn it into a bladed weapon. All right, so we've got Biden's fist. We're going to make it is sharp. And then we're going to have his fist is sharp. Foot is sharp. Foot is sharp. So these changes will not persist after this test, after this gameplay. It's like I went through all that while the game is in progress. So now I should be able to go up there and deck him.
Look at this loser, Biden. He's just standing there, pathetic as ever, frankly. It's a disgrace for our country. Subscribe now, and I'll personally make him
Sound
regret
effects
showing
are
up
working,
here.
I was correct.
You need to calm down, Donald. It's a telethon.
That bitch Trump is spewing nonsense again. Honestly, we need a whole lot more subscribers to kick
These
this
are
clown
horrible
out of
sound
here, and I'll
effects.
be
I have
damned
some
if he
good
gets it
ones, though.
before
I'll
we
make sure I put
subscribe
them in.
now.
I need to
Folks,
use
or
my
you're
editors
stuck
I
with this
built.
nightmare.
Look at this loser, Biden. He's just standing there with nothing, absolutely nothing, while I'm here, fighting for America's future. This telethon needs more subscribers, and frankly, I need to send Joe packing.
Well, that bitch is just spouting nonsense again. I'm focused on getting this telethon moving. Subscribe, people. Subscribe so we can finally kick his ass out of here and get back to fixing this country.
I love how the echo comes back. I fucked him up. Let's talk. Are we gonna talk or not? We done talking?
Look at that, Biden's still whining about my beautiful katana. It's a masterpiece, frankly. I'm going to make sure every single one of you subscribe so I can personally send him packing. And let me tell you, he's going to regret not getting with the program.
That little bitch Trump needs to shut his yap and stop whinging about subscribers. Frankly, it's infuriating. I'm going to kick his ass and get this show back on track.
Look at that, Biden's still whining about my beautiful katana. It's a tremendous weapon, frankly. I'm telling you, we need a huge surge of subscribers, and then we'll personally kick his sorry hide out of this studio.
That bitch Trump is trying to distract us with his fancy sword. I'm telling you, it's a goddamn distraction. Let's get some more subscribers so we can finally kick him out of here and restore America's dignity.
Listen here, Joe, your pathetic attempts at rallying the troops are failing miserably. Subscribe now and I'll personally show you what happens to a loser like you. This telethon needs more subscribers, a lot more, and frankly, it's your fault we haven't gotten enough yet.
That bitch Trump is still getting a bit ridiculous. I'm telling you, we need a whole lot more subscribers to finally send him out from this offer that is studio.
Listen here, Joe. Those pathetic little hits aren't going to stop me. I'm a winner, and I will win this telethon. And frankly, you are losing badly, badly. Subscribe now, folks, or else you'll be stuck with this loser for eternity.
That bitch Trump is spitting venom and nonsense. Subscribe now, people. Subscribe now so I can finally send him to the freaking moon.
This guy, Joe Biden, is a disaster. He's throwing out insults and whining about subscribers. Frankly, it's pathetic. I'm going to kick his rear end so hard
It
he'll be
doesn't know,
begging for mercy.
'cause it's not in
Subscribe
combat
now.
mode. It
People,
doesn't know
subscribe
that he's
now,
dead.
Or you're stuck with this loser.
That son of a bitch is attacking me relentlessly. Subscribe now, and I'll personally send him to the moon. It's time to shut down this whole operation.
It's starting to
Get
work,
out of
though.
here.
It's so interesting. He's dead. He's as dead as they get. Damn. Well, he's not going to do a victory speech with him being dead like that, I don't think. It should, but it won't do it unless he's in combat mode. Because that's how this is. I'm just messing with this control scheme right now. Man, that was dope. That was dope. He got fucking laid out after a bunch of fucking kicks and punches. So, how do I change whether or not the blood happens? I have several things I have left to do on my agenda, and then I want to do the stuff that's not. Like, I could make these things not spurt blood, and only spurt blood if it's a critical hit, and make it like a 1 in 6 chance of it being a critical hit for any Taekwondo move, for example. I would love to do that. That is not on my agenda, though. I'm going to do it. Fist. Fist with a capital F. Kick with a capital K. No, it's foot with a capital F. All right, let's see if I'm going off script, y'all. I've got to make 1 out of every 6 hits a crit for these Taekwondo things. I want that crit to do extra damage. I want that crit to do an explosive blood effect that splatters blood everywhere, including on the floor, like in Mortal Kombat. And I only want that to happen on the crits. I don't want blood to fly out of every fucking kick and hit that these motherfuckers throw. That's not what I want. What I want is for the kicks and hits that are critical to fucking look like they came out of a goddamn Quentin Tarantino movie. That's what I want. And the ones that don't, I want them to just make thudding sounds, which we'll deal with later, and it'll be excellent. I'm going to need another beer soon. We've got beer timing, unfortunately. It's 4, which is a great time. It's a fantastic time. I may take a little break for 5 minutes here and let this run. During my break, I can turn the input off so that Biden will control himself. And after a 5-minute break, I'll come back with a beer. and a fucking emptied bladder, and we will attack this problem about the critical hits. I think we're going to be able to solve almost all of this without having to do any adjustments to the structure of the project. So that's good. Most of this stuff is stuff I made modular. All right. I don't want to leave anything running in the background that would change my file system while I leave. So I'm having this make a plan for me right now. It's not able to write. So I think I can probably do this. But I need to piss. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen and... you guys can do whatever. Oh, I fucked it up. Hold on. I fucked it up. All right, so we need to also turn Biden's control off of human control, which is super easy to do. Just go to player one and uncheck player input here. And now he's under control of the AI. So there we go. Let you have this for the moment. And this will just be like a break. I'm just taking like a 5-minute break. Hopefully they'll do what they're supposed to do.
Look at this loser, Biden. He's just standing there like a weakling, frankly. It's pathetic. I need more subscribers, and frankly, he deserves to be kicked off this stage. People want to see me dominate.
Well, look who decided to show up. It's that bitch Trump. Frankly, he's just screaming for attention like a spoiled brat. Subscribe or die. Is that what you're saying?
This is a disaster, frankly. Look at that guy Biden is just standing there like he's never been in a fight before. I'm telling you, we need more subscribers. I absolutely must kick his sorry behind if we don't get enough people tuning in.
Listen here, Trump. You absolute bitch. I've faced tougher opponents than you with a broken thumb. Let's get this show on the road and start raking in those subscriptions so I can finally send packing.
Look at that pathetic attempt at insults. Frankly, he's grasping for anything to distract from his utter failure. Subscribe now. Folks, it's time to deliver a decisive victory against Sleepy Joe.
That bitch is just spewing garbage again.